So this is from a website called National File. So scrolling down here, it says, "These are not my words. This is this guy's words. Little girls are also kinky. Twitter account chronicles disturbing statements made by transgender women." So I think it's this guy right here or whatever this creature is. I mean, I get like the trans movement and all that stuff, but it's really weird. This guy, like, this is a really strange man. Like, I don't think that people who don't like go around that community and see what they're actually into, they don't. I don't think that they actually understand what type of mental space these people are in to put this stuff out into the public like this, and what this personal life looks like. Like, I don't think people really think about it that way. They just think that you're against homosexuals or gay people or trans people when you speak about these things in a critical way. And I'm not against any of that stuff. I honestly do not care. But just look at it. Why is a grown man? He has hairy shoulders, a hairy chest. Obviously, man, but has a wig on with like a little girl tutu type dress on, and it's makeup and stuff, and it's just silly because, like, what are you trying to do? Like, why are you trying to attract? Because it's really just a gay man. It's not even a trans at this point. Like, or I don't even know. You can't really even. It's just, I think trans people are just gay people in general. Because whenever a trans person like is transitioning, they want to go after the same sex usually. Like, if they're a man transitioning to a woman, they want to have men. And then if it's a woman transitioning to a man, they want women. So aren't they just gay? Like, what? But then it's this whole charade that goes around it. Like, the whole charade of just like what he's projecting. Like, looking at this person, it's kind of crazy. It's just like, what in the world is going on here? Like, why do you even have to do this? And if you wanted to be a woman or act like a woman, like, at least go the full part. You're obviously a guy. So, but I'm talking just about what they claim to be. These statements are outrageous. Like, how do you, like, they say that the trans movement is not tied to pedophilia, but I mean, this is like really sickening demonic type activity. So I'm not saying anything like what his lifestyle is evil. I'm just saying that he personally is evil, and a lot of this pedophile weird stuff is tied with the whole trans movement. And it's just really odd because they're talking about pedophilia as just a mental disease now, and that's just freaking crazy to me. Like, it's really just like, it's so crazy to me that the world has gone this far, or just in America it's gone this far. Because in other countries they realize what these things are and what these things can do to people. And then when you look at the trans movement, like, they're not generally happy humans. Like, there's a huge percentage of people who kill themselves that are into these movements or attempt suicide. And then there are websites that have people's accounts of what's like to live after they've had their transformation. And often they're just like, at first they feel kind of good about it, and then as they live with their decisions, they're like, this is the wrong decision. Why the hell did I do this? And they go into a worse depression. Like, imagine if you one day woke up and you were just like, I don't feel like I need legs. And you just chopped your legs off. Like, that's basically what they're doing. They're just like, I don't feel like I'm a woman or I'm a man. and then they surgically change their body, and that's usually irreversible. Like if they chop your penis off and then create you a fake vagina, that's usually I believe that's irreversible. Like how the hell are you gonna get all that stuff back? And just like it's really outrageous. Like when you think about it versus just like if somebody's just like I like ear, like you're not just gonna be like oh what I hate ear like you're not gonna go crazy and be like yo ear's evil. You're like yeah ear. It's like this trans movement is just like you're like I'm for trans rights. Like you can actually like legitimately say like if you think about it, you have to have some type of contradiction to what they're saying because it just doesn't make sense. Like it's they're turning pedophilia into a mental disorder so that the criminal charges will be less and people will look at it in a less severe severe tone. So like this guy saying this stuff and he's not immediately imprisoned or not immediately investigated or not immediately banned off all social media, but you can talk about January 6th or go to January 6th and the FBI shows up at your house. Like how is this even possible that people aren't seeing like these very weird things that are happening right now? Like this whole COVID thing, this last couple of years, it's just been tremendous, the insanity that's been allowed to go on, but it's getting even worse where these things just don't even make sense. But let's continue into the article. So it says the Twitter account Women's Voices, run by a prominent feminist, is chronicled disturbing statements made by transgender women and other members of the LGBTQ community, focusing on questionable remarks made about young children, sexual objectification, and slurs against homosexual men. One person, transgender activist Julia Serrano, celebrated transforming the loss of male privilege into the best F ever, while suggesting women are only useful for sexual purposes. Another transgender academic. And this is I'm not it's not funny. I'm not laughing because I think what he's saying is true. I'm laughing because it's just like these people are so contradictory to their own movements, their own everything. Like it's just so crazy. So it says transgender academic Andrea Longchu wrote, "Getting effed makes you female because effed is what a female is." And when I'm saying effed, it's the F word. So it says, while I never really believed the cliche about women being good for only one thing, that sentiment kept creeping into my fantasies. It's called forced feminization, transforming the loss of male privilege into the best F ever. It's kind of crazy. Then it says Women's Voices, another article. It says pornography is what it feels like when you think you have an object, but really the object has you. It is therefore a quintessential expression of femaleness. Getting effed makes you female because effed is what a female is. I don't know. These people are really just, I don't know. This is a, what does it say this lady is? Andrea Chu or whatever. She's a trans-identifying academic. This seems like this is like a 12-year-old's mindset. It doesn't even seem like this person's like an academic or like somebody who's like, what are you actually saying? It's basically saying that, says pornography is what it feels like when you think you have an object, but the object really has you. So basically they're saying while you're having sex with a woman, she is just an object. She's not a woman. So as long as you're having sex with an object, that object is a woman. Like, they literally are saying a woman is just like a microphone or this table here. And this is cool. Like these people, this is cool. Like no one's like, wow, that makes absolutely no friggin' sense at all. What you're saying is stupid. No one says that, but they love to just like celebrate this though. Like this is crazy. Okay, so going down, it says to be female is in every case to become what someone else wants. Does anybody hear this? Like these, how are these people not seen as crazy? But then when you say logical, regular stuff, you are seen as the most crazy person possible. So it says, at bottom, everyone is a sissy. What is going on? So, another claim that homosexual men are simply confused transgender individuals, but it's actually the reverse. They're like, if you're gay, just become trans. What the hell is going on? It's like two gay people attacking each other for being different types of gay. It's craziness. It's like a black person seeing a light-skinned black person and be like, you light-skinned black motherfucker. Like, it's the same thing. Okay, so this is crazy. So it says, another claim that the homosexual men are simply confused transgender individuals who chose their sexuality as a consolation prize because they couldn't be women. This is crazy. Because, think about it. If you are a gay man who is attracted to men, like, why would you have to change your entire body to be a woman? It just doesn't make sense. Just be a gay guy. Like, I don't understand. You don't have to perform surgery. You don't have to go on hormones. You don't have to have this weird embattled life where you want to trick men to think you're a woman. Like, that mindset is super crazy. Like, they not only like want you to just like look at a man like obviously and be like, bro, you're a dude, and be like, this is not cool. They want to trick you also. They also want you to change themselves to make you not aware of this, so that you get tricked. Like, they're trying to trick regular guys, and this is just like, yeah, man, that's totally normal. It's really crazy. So you continue to go down, and it says Grace Lavery, another transgender academic, once wrote, "There is something about being." What is this title? Transgender academic. Are you just an academic? Like, are you just a scholar, somebody who likes to study and just know stuff, or is this like an actual title where they're just like, it's a new thing? Like, what the hell is a transgender academic? Aren't you just an academic? What I don't understand how there's these tiers of academic. Like, you're a black academic, Puerto Rican academic. Aren't you just an academic? But Grace Lavery, another transgender academic, once wrote, "There is something about being treated like by men that feels like affirmation itself, like a cry of delight from the deepest cavern of my breast. The academic." Like, these titles, they try to give these people like legitimacy. This academic, this intelligent being. It says the academic added to being the victim of honest, undisguised sexism possesses and exhilarates vitality. I don't know how do you express yourself in any other way other than like, what the hell is going on? Because this person is saying being oppressed because of what you look like is good or feels good because he's a man who transgendered to a woman, and as a man he was oppressed. Does that make any sense? Like, he transgendered because he felt like he was being oppressed in the male body. In the female form, the oppression is good, though. This is crazy. So, another Jacob Tobia, a transgender activist who published a book titled Sissy, admitted to wanting to be the subject of sexual objectification and rejecting feminism, added, the idea that being seen as a sex object is universally a bad thing is too simple, like many tenets of feminism. So, it's crazy, because to be a feminist, you actually have to be a woman. So they are attacking feminism. And it's crazy that you can't, like, the left is so crazy that, like, they've gone, the insanity, like the true insanity, is like their mainline view now. Like, so when you're a leftist, and say you're a leftist feminist, and you're for the LGBT stuff, you can't attack this woman because she's like, it's like a leftist god now, like Caitlyn Jenner type activity. Like, you can't say anything bad if you're a woman about this. You can't, or else you're just like a horrible woman. But they'll say feminism has the wrong idea about women being treated fairly. Being oppressed as a woman makes, and this is a guy saying this. So, it's, oh my gosh, you can keep going down, but this one is so scary because this, it's like, oh my god, this person, I don't know, this is a guy in makeup who looks unbelievably strange and creepy. I don't know. So it says, women around the world have been treated as sexual objects, yet if a sexual objectification is so categorically awful, then why do I want it so badly? This is a man who's not a woman talking about what it's like to be a woman. The idea that being seen as a sex object is universally a bad thing is too simple, like many tenets of feminism. Women, like, and then look at this creature. I keep on referring to them as creatures because it's just like, what is, I can't comprehend this. It's too confusing. It's like visually, like when you see something, it can bring emotion to you. When I visually see this, it just, my mind just is like it's just, like, it can't comprehend this. It's just like, what the so, but then when you mix in like their ideology, it's unbelievable. Like, it's like, this is clearly an insane person. It's like a schizophrenic explaining to you anything. They're just like, the chicken roosted on the oven top. Like, you're just like, the chicken roosted on the oven top. What are you talking about? Baked bread. Sir, you're insane. Like, you just leave after that. But they want you to sit here and be like, oh, dude, obviously what you're saying makes total sense, bro. Wow. Revelations. Like, they want you to literally just listen to this and be like, there's nothing wrong with this. This is totally cool. Like, it's so crazy because, like, women usually have a soft spot for gay people. And it kind of makes sense because they're just like, oh, he's just a soft man, leave him alone. And no one should be bothering gay people anyways. But, like, now that they're attacking women just for being women and basically taking the voice of women because they're actually men and saying that their viewpoint is the more modern and the feminism about women's rights and women's equality is archaic and old and doesn't fit what it is to be a woman now, which is a man dressing up as a woman. That's what it is to be a woman now. This guy has a 5 o'clock shadow and looks like a grown man with the makeup on. And he says these things. So, yo, what? Okay, so I'm gonna click on this picture because I need to see it bigger. I now these ones are just the more shocking ones. But it's just, I don't know, guys. It's just, at this point, it's just, like, what the hell is reality even about? Because, like, you can't speak about certain subjects. You can't express thoughts about certain subjects. You can't talk about certain things. Like, America is really being tormented right now. This is, like, a weird play on just I don't even know. Like this is so crazy. I don't even know. This is just so weird. My computer's taking forever to load. Guys, remember subscribe, like, comment. I appreciate all of that, and I love the way the channel is going. So just remember to subscribe, comment, and like. This thing just like literally glitched my whole computer. But I don't know what this guy's saying here, but he says, well, what I can say is it says, will come into bathrooms and abuse little girls. The supposed purity of the victim has remained stagnant. There are no princesses. Little girls are also kinky. Like, okay. So let me repeat. Let me repeat this. So it says, the craziest thing of all time. Supposedly, Alec Vade Minon said this. Will come into a bathroom and abuse little girls. The supposed purity of the victim has remained stagnant. Who even talks like this? Like, what? Is he like a Dracula or something like this? There are no princesses. Little girls are also kinky. Your kids aren't as straight and narrow as you think. Alright, I'm not gonna comment. You just think about this. So yeah, that was the article. Pure insanity. So that looks like it's the end of the podcast, guys. Those were about 6 or 7 stories that I wanted to just get out and talk to you guys about. And so, I mean, currently in the world, before I close this podcast out, it's just been really interesting. I mean, I guess if you have money right now and everything is good, then, I mean, things are just drifting by and you're just experiencing existence. But even if you do have money, if you don't have money, just pay attention, because these things that are going on, it's really important to care about it, and really important to think about it, and really important to support people who bring information like Logical Pharaoh podcast. You guys can get hats. Just email me. But you should like it's just very important at this time, that because we're at a junction point in society where we can go left or right. And there's really no other choice, because where they're bringing us, it doesn't make any sense. And not even just about like the last story or any of these stories. Just if you collect all of the things that have happened in the last 5 years, major events, and just all of the news reporting for the last 5 years, you can kind of see that the news is fake. Like, you can kind of see that the structure of society is not what they say it is. They what they're saying it is just completely backwards, and or not even backwards. They're starting to become immoral themselves. They built up this moral code or standing in their liberal spheres that they no longer adhere to. It's all selective because they never planned to they never were under their own rules. It's rules for thee and not for me mentality. And you can obviously see this. There's so many contradictory things, and then they pass bills like Joe Biden passed a bill to let transgenders and women and all this stuff that's crazy into combat and into the military, and just making the military softer and softer, and just doing these things that are not logical, because there's reasons why the military is set up the way it is, and why combat is the way it is in the military, and why just certain things are the way in life, like no men in girls' bathrooms. Whether you're a man in a dress or not, you stay out of the friggin' bathroom. Whether you're like, it's just basic logic about basic things they are not adhering to anymore. They're just like, this is the reality that we want you to live in. This is the things that we want you to think about. Now, toil away while we do whatever the hell we want to do without anybody having any oversight. And we as the people have the ultimate oversight, and our elected officials need to start doing things about it. And we need to start sharing information. So share the podcast, share the articles. I'll put them in the links, and just get this information out, guys. We just gotta, as young adults, I'm 27 years old, we have to start feeling as though we are more important than just a human who lives in America. A lot of people have that viewpoint that, oh, I'm just a guy here and I can't do anything about anything. The system's too big. That mindset is self-defeating to begin with. Imagine if you went out and to do any type of competing anything, and your thought was that, hey, I'm just going to lose. That it's not going to work out. We're definitely going to lose. Your morale is just like that immediately. Of course you're going to lose. But once you realize that you can win if you strategize and if you unite with your team, which is all of the American people, then we can get good things done, and we can make America great. That's what it's about. Make America great again. But anyways, subscribe, like, comment. Thank you.